Hi, this is Cleve Loveland. Welcome back to the third and final segment of the Loveland Report Loan Arranger Show. We've been talking about numbers. We've been talking about how interest rates have dropped from 7 to 6% this year. 2025, not one for the record books, about the slowest year in 15 years.
Mine was a little better than 2024. 2025 was a little better.
Well, my sales were better because I'm always looking to do better. But this was the slowest year in real estate. Now, it's funny how mortgage originations can run different because you get people refinancing.
Yes.
So people get they might have 3 or 4
But you
mortgages.
know what? The refinance business for the last 3 years has been mostly cash out refinances because people needed money, but very few people refinanced to drop the rate because it wasn't lower.
Yeah.
They're sitting on a 3.5% rate. They're not going to refinance to a higher rate. So now things are changing. And here's another thing that I find changing. If a client needed money and they own a home, and they've got a 3.5% fixed rate on the house, what do you think they want to do? What do they think they're calling
HELOC.
for? They want to do a HELOC. They want to do a HELOC because they don't want to interfere with that first mortgage.
Yep.
I don't blame you.
Yep.
I wouldn't want to mess with the 3.5%. I had a client the other day I talked to, they got a 2.5%. Insane. And they wanted to put $50,000 down on it. I said, do not prepay that mortgage. You get every other debt paid off. You don't pay down a 2% mortgage. That's free money.
Yep.
But I look at that and I'm thinking, how in the world can we get people to jump back in the market when they are, or refinance their home when they got a 3.5% rate? No, they want a home equity line of credit. They get a home equity line of credit. But that home equity line of credit is tied to prime.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of them are fixed, some of them are adjustable.
Yep.
But that rate is usually going to be between 7.5 and 9.5, maybe 11%.
Yep.
That's where it's going to be. So now and it's a shorter term loan. It's not a 30-year fixed. It may be 15 or 10 or 20.
Yeah.
So now that payment's heavier. So now you got a higher payment.
So your HELOCs are amortized or not just interest only, or we have them.
Okay. We have them all. We have interest only. We have amortized. We have fixed rate.
And I would suggest
20,
amortized.
15 years.
Because the one thing I never see people pay off is their HELOC.
Right.
And they think they can just take it with them to the next house. Like, no, that's got to be paid off on this home.
Yes. So you can amortize them. We can do all kinds of things with our HELOCs. We have lots of different options for you. And we can do them on primary, secondary, and investment property. But what I'm finding, Cleve, is now they are starting to feel the pain of the HELOC payment maybe being a little higher, and they're blending it. So now as interest rates drop into the 5s, they may be more willing to consolidate that all into one.
And I'm willing
payment.
to bet that most people, when they call the bank and ask about that, and they say my blended rate might be this, I think it might be worth, they'll be like, what?
What's
they don't understand.
Rate?
Yeah. So
let me get you into a new adjustable rate mortgage.
So it's very important you talk to somebody who knows what's going on and can recommend, because sometimes what's that cash coming out for? Is it coming out to pay debt?
Right.
If they got $100,000 of, what do you call it, revolving debt or car payments, might want to go ahead and do that.
Yep.
Now, not on a $700,000 mortgage at 2.5%, maybe on a $300,000
right now that needs the money, but he's getting a divorce or had a divorce, and he's got to pay his wife off $100,000. So he's probably listening to the show right now. So I won't mention any names, but here I'm going to have to refinance a 3.5% rate to get him his $100,000 on this investment property. So it does, but we have reasons. Divorce is expensive, folks. I'm going to tell you that right now. Divorce is not the way. If you can avoid divorce, please avoid divorce. Try to work it out. We really want you to work it out. But if you can't, you can call me. I'll get you the money. We'll pay off your spouse. How about that? 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. My name is Bruce Woodburn. I am the Loan Arranger alongside Cleve Loveland, the voice of real estate. He can help you buy your next home. He can help you sell your home. He's got a 50-point staging checklist. And he can help you manage your properties if you don't want to manage them yourself. If you got rental properties, he can help you do that. Cleve, what's your phone number?
407-352-8118. Bruce, I get emails all the time, and I talk to my sellers. If you list with me, I'm going to come sit down with you every 2 to 3 weeks and go over the market with you.
Yes.
And big question,
you're not going to avoid them because it hasn't sold?
No. Or then
you're not going to ghost them?
No, not at all. That's the exact response most of them get when they're not getting what they want. But There is time, Bruce, when it's time to make an adjustment to pricing,
Sure.
and an adjustment to your market position.
Mhm.
But the things you got to look at, like I've had some listings like where I took over from a poor realtor that didn't get it sold. And I go in there and I look around. I'm like, all right, looks like a crime scene here and a frat party happened last night. So how about we just spend a couple $1,000s, clean it up, fix the front yard. We go back on the market $5,000 higher. And then maybe they weren't paying a good
That's a good
co-broke to the other
strategy.
agent. The agent didn't know. They said, oh, I listed that for half price because we're not paying the other agent anything. Well, you just chopped off 3/4 of your buyers aren't going to come look at you because they might not have the money to pay their agent.
Right.
So all these things come into play. But I think the main thing on market position is if you didn't sell and you do need to lower the price a little bit, and I'm always in favor of starting a little high, but you got to adjust. Don't go stale. After 60 days, everybody's like, whoa, wait a minute. Is there a dead body there? Why hadn't it sold? But when you do adjust it, sometimes you only need to go 1% or 2%.
You have the strategy and you look at the market. So the thing is, real estate agents don't determine what your sales price is.
No,
the
see,
market
the market
determines
does.
the sales price.
We usually take the blame, but yeah,
of course you do.
But if you're listed for 500 and you didn't sell, and what happened in the last 3 weeks is 3 of your neighbors came on the market for 494.9, you probably might need to go 491.9.
Or what if 3 of your neighbors sold for 525 and yours is on the market for 500 and your house is just as nice?
Does
you
activity
see that
pick up?
happen too? Why didn't your house sell? Your listing agent's not returning phone calls.
Yeah.
Your listing agent's not showing the property.
No lockbox
your listing
on the
agent
property.
doesn't have a lockbox off, or there's no key in it.
Yep.
There's all kinds of reasons. Have you ever wanted to buy a product? And I know oftentimes we use the internet and Amazon for that, but you wanted to buy a product and you went into a store
Can't
and
find
they
a salesman.
said, you know what? We don't have any in store. We can order it for you.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I wanted to walk out with it.
Yeah.
I want to go out with that pair of shoes.
Yeah.
I don't want you to order me the pair of shoes.
Yeah.
I just need the product now. If you don't have the product available, people move to the next store. If your house is not available, they're going to find another one. They're not going to wait around for you.
And here's the other thing too, especially if you're not paying a good co-broke to the agent who brings the buyers through, and that agent has 10 homes to show, and your co-broke is very, very, very small compared to the other ones, guess what?
What?
You won't get shown.
You're not going to get
They're
shown.
going to show those other 10 before they even bother trying to show you. And you got 2 Great Danes and you only let it be shown on Friday afternoon from 4 to 7. You're not going to get any showings.
So true.
And see, all of these things come into play. So sometimes it's not just one thing. It's not price. I'd say most of the time it's not price, but there's other factors that come in. And once you set those other factors right, then you can see where your marketing is at.
Absolutely.
Because I've had properties, I've had them be on the week market for a week and hardly get any activity. And then all of a sudden gotten offers the next week.
Sure.
But I haven't had something sit for 5-7 weeks and all of a sudden get activity at the same price.
Oh, that typically would not happen.
The front yard looks like nobody's lived there for a while.
So how often, I want to talk about a product that I have that would serve you and your clients and a lot of listeners' needs out there. Because how many people do you know that are so afraid to put their home on the market and have a buyer for it and not find the property that they really wanted to buy, right? So they're like, oh my God. Or they found the property, but they don't have a buyer for theirs yet. And now you're a contingency and you're like, nobody's going to accept a contingency offer. That happens and people get freaked out. You and I manage that. Like here's Cleve and I's job. We manage your fear. That's what we do.
Yep.
That's what we're here to do. We're help to manage your fear. But now think about this. People call and they'll go, hey, I want a bridge loan.
Yep.
Okay, great. So you own a $500,000 house. You want to buy a $700,000 house. Yep. You owe $300 on your 500 house. So you got $200,000 in equity.
Yep.
But you don't have money to put down on the new one without getting the equity out of it.
So trying to buy without selling.
You're afraid to go into contract on the one you want to buy because you don't know when yours is going to sell.
Yep.
Introducing the cross-country mortgage bridge loans.
It's like the Blend-O-Matic.
It is unbelievable. Now, here's the thing. Here's why bridge loans don't work usually. The client has to qualify for their existing mortgage. So you got a $300,000 loan on your $500,000 house. I'm going to give you $100,000 out of your house to put on the new one. So now you got a mortgage on the $100,000.
Yep.
And then I'm going to get you the $700,000 house that you have $100,000 to put down on. So now you got a $600,000 mortgage.
Yep.
And then you go, I don't qualify for that.
Yep.
That's why nobody gets bridge loans.
Yep.
So my bridge loan's a little different. I will give you 75% of your equity out of your home. I will not count the payment on the equity that I give you out of your home. I will not count the payment on your current residence. I'm only going to count the payment on the one you're going to buy.
Yep.
So it's just like yours is sold. You know how I do that? I guarantee you that if your home does not sell within 120 days from the day I close on the new one, I buy it.
Okay.
And I pay off all your mortgages.
Okay.
So I have a backup offer. So you keep that house listed.
Yep.
Okay. We've gone into contract on a new one.
Yep.
Cleve keeps that one listed. I'm not going to make you change your listing agent.
Yep.
I'm not going to make you adjust your price. And I don't want to buy your house. I want you to sell your home. But if it doesn't, I got a guaranteed
I think
buyout.
that product's perfect. I have a lot of people, Bruce, that they worry about, what if I can't find the house I want? They're very selective, or they got a certain neighborhood or zip code they want to be in, or a certain price point.
Yep.
And that alleviates that problem, because and this is 90% of the time, I've got somebody on the market. I might show them around before they go on the market and say, here's what you're looking for. Here's some possibilities, but they might not be available, because we don't know when you're going to sell. If it's going to be 2 weeks or 2 months.
Sure.
And so I show people around, we'll show them, all right, they're like, I want them to have a picture. I don't want them to find their dream home, but that solves the dream home problem.
Yes, it does.
It does solve the dream home problem, because I can usually.
Well, it solves a lot of problems, and it solves a lot of headaches that you might have, or worry that people have. And you know what? Buying a home is like having a baby. There's going to be a little stress involved in it. Okay. It just is. You got to think about moving,
Yep.
getting your kids into new schools, getting all your mail changed. There's just a lot of things that go into it. And you and I don't invalidate people's concerns, but this eliminates a lot of pressure.
Yep.
So you don't have to worry about that anymore. My name's Bruce Woodburn, and I'm the loan arranger. If I don't have a mortgage to fit your needs, there isn't one. That's just the fact. It hadn't been invented.
You guys got them
yet.
all.
We got them all. 407-250-9144 for the loan arranger. That's 407-250-9144. Or go to webringyouhome.com. Cleve, what's your number?
407-352-8118 or cleveloveland.com.
Yeah. So listen, we got about a minute left here. I want to cover a few things when we get back from the next break. Actually, no, that's the last.
Happy New Year. This is the last segment.
One. I am so sorry. I thought we had another show coming up. We
Have
don't.
a happy New Year, everybody.
It's New Year's. Listen, God bless each and every one of you. And thank you so much for listening to our show. Sorry, we're a couple of goobers up here. We are not professional radio show, talk show hosts. We are people that care about your real estate investments and are here to help you. So if you're expecting great entertainment, you tuned into the wrong show. If you want to know how to make money in real estate, you turned into the right show. God bless you. Have a great weekend.